my friends, to a podcast that's been described as
emotional
and
terrifying.
One guy even said it was
So awesome it will shock you to the core.
finally another podcast about Godzilla and all his giant monster friends.
This could be the end of civilization.
Yeah, probably. So join your hosts, Cass and Slick.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the podcast from Odo Island. Welcome to the podcast from Odo Island. Follow us on the Twitter at Odo Island Pod. I am Kess. With me as always, from the land of light, he's here to save us. Here he comes, our Slick.
Ultra Slick from the land of light. Here I am.
That's a good one.
It was good. It was good. It was like positive and uplifting.
Yeah, no, it's from the theme
It was
song.
affirming.
Yeah. I try to tie it into it, whatever we're doing, in some weird way. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. This week, we're delving into my first real, I guess you could call it, it's more than a dip my toe into the water. It's more just doing a cannonball into the Ultraman series.
Yep, I selected 3 episodes from the first third of the original Ultraman series.
Yeah, so we got episode 1, episode 2, and episode 8.
Yes.
And I watched those, so we'll talk about that. But first, any news we should be discussing today?
Well, this is a good topical episode because we're recording on Thursday. Tonight, Godzilla Battle Line will be updating. I know you're thrilled to hear about this. And it is going to start a collaboration with Shin Ultraman starting tomorrow. Wow. So Shin Ultraman is joining Godzilla Battle Line.
So you're going to get Shin Godzilla versus the Shin Godzilla knockoff from Shin Ultraman.
Shin Gomes is not making it into the game just yet. It's I forget the kaiju's name. The first kaiju that like Ultraman fights in like the 10 minutes that they put online, like it's like a 48 for 48 hours they put the first 10 minutes up, and that's the other kaiju that's coming into the game.
Gotcha.
That'll be launching tomorrow.
Oh, well,
it'll be very exciting.
Enjoy. I know you're big into that, and I just don't game on my phone really. So I did download it. It's on my phone. I just haven't played it because I usually just pick up a game either on my my Raspberry Pi or my Xbox. Or
Naranga's the name. I was close, but no cigar.
Yeah, I did a good job filling the gaps while you look that up, though.
Yeah.
Any other news that you want to talk about? Any big news? Big news?
I guess we got a little teaser that the next MonsterVerse movie is going to be in the as you pointed out, the Ides of March, 2024.
2024, right? So movies are still happening, I guess. The TV show is happening. It's going to be a golden age for Godzilla for years to come. Yeah.
I mean, everyone's kind of expecting the next MonsterVerse movie to be a Kong movie, so. I'm sure there'll be some Godzilla connection in it, so that's exciting.
Maybe if it's going to be Son of Kong, that'll have a Son of Godzilla sort of moping around there as his little pal.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. So that's kind of exciting. And I don't know. I think that's kind of it for news, right?
There is a Playmates.
Oh, the King Ghidorah. We got some photos of that.
Yeah,
released. That looks cool. Looks really good.
It looks better than the Jax one and better than there's no legendary Bandai one from what I could tell that we got here. There was the Showa King Ghidorah from Bandai that was released recently a few years ago in like 2019.
Yeah, this is a Japanese Bandai movie monster series.
Okay,
Legendary Gear, which I have, and that's a really good figure.
Yeah, so maybe it's on par with that, but it has the battle damage.
Yeah, every play with figure's gonna have a little battle damage.
Battle damage, and I'm sure it's in some awkward walking position.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I zoomed in on like the picture, and it's like it's a little pixelated, but like the head looked a little goofy in the picture. But again, it's very pixelated, so I couldn't really tell. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And well, it's a Playmates figure, so the heads will probably be a little bit goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I really had for news was the movie and the figure. Delve right into the topic then, I guess.
We'll get into it. So
you jerks didn't pick Jurassic Park, which would really save me a lot of time. Well, like an hour. So I was going to watch that movie anyway because it was like the 29th anniversary of it.
Yep, one of the most lopsided polls we ever did. It's pretty good. So yeah, we did I'm not gonna give a huge history of the history of the original Ultraman series because that would be a podcast into itself. But basically, this is a continuation of the Ultra series, which started with Ultra Q, which did not have like a giant superhero on the side of the good guys. It was like the Science Patrol. They fought giant monsters every week, but they kind of did it with like their own weapons and yeah, it's basically the Science Patrol versus giant monsters.
That explains why they were shooting giant monsters with their little pistols, their laser pistols.
Yeah, and in lots of episodes of the series, they're actually fairly effective weapons that they have, which is kind of nice. They're not like they don't just stand on the sidelines while Ultraman does all the work. They can be effective in their own right. But Ultra Q is a little bit more, it has giant monsters, it's like a little bit more mystery thriller based, where this is just a little bit more some fun, lighthearted.
This is popcorn right here.
Yep. So I picked, like you said, 3 episodes. Episodes 1, which is Ultra Operation 1. Episode 2, which is Shoot the Invader, and episode 8, which is the Lawless Monster Zone. I picked them because I don't know, I feel like you got to see the first one, and then I picked episode 2 and episode 8 because I wanted to keep it early in the series. But also I wanted episodes that kind of introduce kind of recurring, iconic Ultraman villains that will appear for decades and decades to come.
I got the sense that you picked them for a reason.
Yeah. Ben Bular's in the first one. He appears in later series as well, or other Ben Bulars. But the Alien Baltons in the second episode, and then Red King, and in the 8th episode, like they'll kind of go on to be some of like the big iconic recurring Ultraman villains.
Cool.
So this is their first appearance, and plus we need an episode where Pigman gets killed. So that was, needed one of those. So before I guess we go episode by episode, I guess my questions I had for you were your just kind of general first impressions, and then how does this compare initially to Zone Fighter?
So blow Zone Fighter out of the water. I'll answer that part right now.
Yeah. Agreed.
I was very impressed with the miniatures, how everything looked. I felt like, I guess I could say it's on par with what the Godzilla movies were doing at the time. Maybe a little backed off. But like visual-wise, it looked really good in my opinion.
Yeah, so it is EG Super Eye. It's Super Eye Productions.
Okay.
So it's
makes sense.
No, I don't think EG Super Eye was doing all the special effects, but it's his studio. Separate from Toho, but
no, that's not to say I didn't pick up on all the cost cutting that they did. Like with all you fire one missile, you fire another missile.
Yeah,
it's the same shot. Like yes,
that happened a lot. These are small budgets,
and it's a product of the time. I get it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah.
I can get around it. I was thinking when I was watching these, if someone played me this when I was like 5 or 6, I would have been addicted.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought, like I said, it looked really good, entertaining. They're short. I guess where this falls short of the movies more noticeably is in the substance, where Godzilla movies, especially like Godzilla vs. the Thing, it had something to say,
right?
Whereas this is more like get your popcorn, have a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are some episodes in the original Ultraman run that do delve into a little bit more serious stuff, but like Ultra 7 comes after this, and Ultra 7 deals a lot more with darker themes, and Ultraman Leo deals, well, that's just kind of a dark show, but Ultra 7 and stuff like that, they kind of actually they actually have a little bit more to say.
Yeah, I'm not saying these are like devoid of substance. I'm just saying the movies had like profound substance, where these are more like enjoy yourself situations.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess one little bit of trivia, the Ultraman suit in these 3 episodes is the first iteration of the Ultraman. They made 3 Ultraman suits through the course of the.
It looked hand painted.
Yeah, it's it gets the other 2. So I think they had 1 suit for the first 12 episodes, and then they had they made a new suit that they don't look that different, but you can just tell the second and third version of the suit just look. They just look a lot better than the first suit. They're just a little bit more polished up, and
I got past the aesthetic of the suit real quick.
Yeah,
Like you could see the big bulge in the back where the zipper is, and like I said, it looked hand painted, so it looked it didn't look metal. It looked like a little, I don't want to say sloppy, but you could see the variations in the paint and when it was under a certain light.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I got past it real
the eye
quick.
holes are fairly large.
Yeah.
The mouth is kind of weird.
Yeah, the mouth I definitely noticed that the mouth had some weirdness going on with it.
Yeah, they tighten up that mouth in the next 2 versions. So
Yeah,
I think
okay.
there's one episode. I think it's some of the episodes we watch is one fight where it's you can actually see the suit actor's teeth a little bit, and it looks so it's very unsettling. We don't.
I'll have to dig that up now.
It looks like it's very hard to see, but when you see it, you're just kind of whoa. Kind of looks like the first version of Sonic from the from the movie.
It's the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it's just a little nerve wracking, but all right, yeah. Well, shall we go episode by episode here?
Yeah, let's talk about the first one. You got the red ball and the blue ball coming from the space, crash into the lake and in the trees.
Ultraman smashes into Hayata.
He smashes into Hayata. Yep, that's true. I should have said that. Yeah,
That's a critical plot point for the remainder of the series.
and he gives him his lightsaber hilt.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to explain it. His beta capsule. This episode establishes a couple things. Well, the Clark Kent Superman dynamic that will kind of carry on throughout the remainder of the Ultraman franchise. Although it doesn't always start with an Ultraman or an Ultra Warrior crashing into their soon-to-be human host and killing them. This one has that nice little wrinkle to it.
Okay.
But it establishes the space graveyard, which will become a plot point later in the Ultra series. I think at the beginning, Ultraman says he was chasing Bemular, who was a space criminal, but he escaped from the space graveyard. And actually, Bemular was originally considered to be Ultraman's name until they settled on Ultraman. So they repurposed it for the kaiju.
Oh, what did the other guy call him? Mr. Mystery or something like that?
Oh, yeah, it's like Hayata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, they should have called him that. That'd have been hilarious.
Mr. Mystery. And then, what's my other little piece of trivia for this? Oh, yeah, Bemular's roar is Godzilla's roar. Just sped up.
Oh, okay.
That's, so it sounds a little familiar.
It was definitely familiar. I didn't pick up on that, though.
Yeah. So there's not a ton of plot to the story. I mean, Ultraman crashes into Hayata, says, "Hey, pal.
You now.
You can either be dead or I can merge with you, and you're going to do some superhero shit now."
Yeah.
Hayata's like, "All right, cool. I just won't tell anybody." And they drive
What an
Bemular.
ultimatum.
Yeah.
You can either be dead or have superpowers.
Well, there's one part Hayata's he's like, so what happens when I use the beta capsule or something? And Ultraman just goes, don't worry.
That's very Legend of Zelda-y. That's like something that would happen in those games.
Sure. Yeah. So then we get some,
Sorry.
we get some, White Claws are flowing. We get some good old fashioned, man in suit fighting.
And it was awesome. In the first episode, I was like, this is awesome. He's got these little dinky arms.
Yeah.
Like the suit's kind of flopping around, like it's empty inside. I'm like, this is good stuff right here. This is what I like.
Yeah. Bemular fires his knockoff of Godzilla's atomic ray. I think the only beam Ultraman I think fires in this is his finisher, his Specium ray.
His hand ray.
Yeah. He will expand that power base randomly and conveniently as the series goes on.
Of course, that's what you gotta do.
As will all the other Ultramen, but yeah, that's his trademark finisher right there, the Specium ray.
Yep. Looks cool. I like it. I like how in the Shin Ultraman movie they took that effect and it's like kind of like dressed it up a little bit, so it still looks exactly the same, but like it fits in with like modern aesthetics better.
Yeah, and does a very dramatic pose to fire it off in the
Yeah, I mean,
with the preview that we got for Shin Ultraman.
You gotta pose. I mean, we've known this forever. Like you look at the Marvel series, you look at Batman, you look at Superman, you look at Hulk Hogan. They all posed and they all won.
There you go. I like that it's like I guess it's kind of this Ultraman as like, I don't know, some Ultraman, like when they're doing fights, like it's like they're doing like backflips and cartwheels and shit like that. I like the athleticism to Ultraman fights, even if it's sometimes just on Ultraman's end.
This there was a degree of athleticism, but I got the vibes of like backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
More than actual fighting.
Yeah, I mean when you're fighting a guy in the Bemular suit where, again, like you said, little useless flappy arms.
He's got those little dinky hands. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically a guy just with his arms stuck in his side,
right.
like moving that suit. So it's like beating up your friend trapped in a trash bag, basically. So
Not that we have experience here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Ultraman can work with a broomstick and make it look good.
Yep.
And that's like kind of what this was.
So, I like the idea of the first monster just emerging out of a lake.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. The human cast, like, I was expecting this to be really over the top, like, kid-friendly and goofy, and that didn't happen in this episode. It did happen, but not in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually have a theory on that. But, yeah, and I like that this establishes, too, in, like, the Ultraman series that, like a lot of the enemy kaiju, like there are some that are just kind of like, mindless monsters that just kind of get awoken for whatever reason. But like a lot of them, like Alien Baltan or Bemular, or like as like the series goes on, like you watch like the Zedans and stuff like that. Like a lot of them are either like part of like a very intelligent alien race and like they're invading for a purpose, or like Bemular is like essentially a space criminal that like Ultraman's pursuing. And like I like that like they have like that sort of dynamic to them rather than just kind of being like, random monster came from space and is attacking Earth. It's like there's a little bit more a unique like kind of background to them. So that was cool, but Bemular gets blown up. So
Bemular gets blown up, he goes back in his ball, the ball gets blown up.
Yep. Yeah.
I do like how when he goes back into the ball, it's just because Ultraman just threw him back into the lake.
Well, he was like, I gotta get out of Dodge here. He's like, things aren't looking good. I gotta keep running. That Bemular suit ends up getting repurposed for another kaiju like 10 episodes later.
All right.
So a lot of these suits start getting reused. And then like they start the Baragon suit from Frankenstein Conquers the World gets used like I don't know 5-6 different times in the series.
And it's like it's good that they have enough ingenuity to do that, but it just kind of stinks that like they didn't know what they had at the time.
Yeah, well, they just also just didn't have the money.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they just didn't know what they had. So if they knew, 50 years later that these things would be like priceless and like parts of like cinema history and TV history, like they probably wouldn't have repurposed them.
Yeah, they also probably would have made them out of material that probably would have lasted longer.
Yeah, but like for the time, I think they look really good.
Oh yeah, I think so too. They're all like, even though like they're definitely cheaper than like the mainline Godzilla series.
Yeah, they
all got like a cool look to them.
They don't look anything like anything in the Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
so that's really good.
Yeah,
they look professionally done enough that they could be in those movies, in my opinion, but nothing like what you've seen in the movies. They're all kind of just new takes on it. So, credit to there. I think it was visually very creative.
Yeah. Anything else in the first episode? A lot more meat in the bones of the next two episodes.
Yeah. So, not really for the first episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it though. Made watching these episodes really easy.
Yep.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess we can move on to the next one if you want.
But yeah, I was gonna say, just to your point that you just made, like, I don't actually have too much of a background with Ultraman. Like, it's always like been a thing I've seen like here and there over the years. I don't know if you remember when we were growing up, there was like a joint Japanese and Australian, I think it was, and maybe US Ultraman show that was on TV when we were like in the early 90s?
I don't remember that.
It was called Ultraman Towards the Future. It didn't last too long. There's a Super Nintendo Ultraman game based on it.
Okay.
But which sucks. But it's like a really bad fighting game. But and that was like I remember like my dad saying he's like you might like this because you're liking Godzilla. And my dad like saw more Ultraman like on TV when he was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But TNT used to do Ultra 7, so I saw that every now and then. But it like didn't really start doing like deep dives into Ultraman like the last like couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like like I crushed through like this first Ultraman series is like 36 or 37 episodes or something. It's like I feel like I crushed through it like in no time.
Yeah, they're only like 20-ish minutes long, so not hard to digest, really.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things like when one ends and then like you see like oh shit, like they have like a little preview sometimes. You know, like oh like that monster looks badass, so now I just gotta watch and see what happens.
Yeah.
And, so that brings us to episode 2, Shoot the Invaders.
Shoot!
So I'm gonna guess the thing you're gonna mention that was like geared towards little kids is the weird fourth wall breaking at the very beginning of this episode.
In the end.
Oh yeah, in the end, where like Ide's like kind of looking, he's like, "You bet you're wondering how I got this black eye."
And you find out.
So so even though this is the second episode, this was actually the first episode filmed.
Oh, okay.
And so part of me wonders, like, were they kicking around this idea of this more lighthearted fourth wall breaking type moments? Because they never do it again. This is the only time it happened.
It's almost like the Showtime Lakers HBO show, where the first episode has tons of fourth wall breaking, and then they just never revisit.
Yeah, so I wonder if it was like because it was the first episode, maybe they were, or I mean, not. It was never planned to be the first episode, obviously, but I just wonder if it was like because the first one they filmed, if they were still kind of kicking around ideas and how to, present this. I don't know. I mean, that's just a guess at my point. But we get the alien Baltons who will go on to be one of Ultraman's most recurring and popular enemies.
All right.
So what'd you think of this one?
I probably liked the first episode better. Like I said, this is where you kind of get into the appeal to kids and not really to anyone else type of dynamic of the show. It wasn't that like to the point where I was like, I got to shut this off. I can't watch this. But it was just kind of like, this doesn't really appeal to me. Like this guy getting a black eye because he fell out of bed.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. I liked the Baltons like chuckling as they like basically freeze and kill people.
Yeah,
and then they go, "Up, our planet's dying, so we'll just take the Earth."
I did like how they're just like, there's 2 billion of us on this spaceship, and you can't see it. And they're like, but there's 2 billion people on Earth. There's 7.5 billion now.
Yeah.
So we could accommodate them now, no problem. But back then it's like doubling the population. You know what was going to happen, and so eventually Ultraman reveals the spaceship and says, "See you later, alligator."
Yeah, and very controversially commits genocide effectively, and that is the magnitude of that is like clearly just not like acknowledged in the series, but like people kind of like in like tongue-in-cheek, lighthearted fashion, kind of going, "Yeah, Ultraman, yeah, the paragon of virtue and justice, yeah, casually commits genocide in the second episode of the show," when they clearly like nobody was meaning to give that like any weight in this show at the time it was filmed, because like I said, it's popcorn that like basically like you can watch these episodes like at some point basically out of order because like there's very little carryover continuity.
Okay.
That's not true because some alien like the Baltons come back in this series, like some other kaiju come back, or like there's references to older episodes, but like a lot of them are kind of just monster of the week episodes.
Yeah.
So like there is an overarching story, but
so it's like the X-Files.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yes. So so a lot of people kind of go, yeah, remember when Ultraman just casually committed genocide and like nobody cared. But how did you like? I think the Balton is really cool design, and he's actually one of my favorites too. But did you think highly of the alien Balton?
I might be getting my episodes confused. There's my favorite monster of the episodes I watched. He looked like a acid watch gene color Godzilla who's been squished and has a huge neck.
That's Rick King.
And then was run over by tractor trailer tire.
Yeah, it's Red King. That's the next episode.
Okay. Yep. He was my favorite. So
This is the beetly looking
Yes.
Gigan type thing.
yes. Okay. This one again doesn't look like anything from the Godzilla series. It's completely original. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
But a step up from the previous episode. I'll say that.
Yes. I liked how they had like one scene where it's like Ultraman's flying, Balton's chasing him, and it's like almost trying to do like the Star Wars thing where it's like when like the TIE fighters like flying behind the X-Wing, it's like firing the lasers like into the surface of the Death Star. But like instead this is like, like the Balton prop chasing the Ultraman prop, firing missiles into like, an oil refinery, and I was like, that's a good attempt at like doing a little
I did enjoy
dynamic.
how all like the big like circular globe things just kept on getting destroyed.
Oh yeah, that's like a staple in like Godzilla movies and stuff. Like there's like oil refinery, blow up those globe things.
Yeah, it's just almost like the charges were like easy to plant there.
Yeah. Probably really did fill them with gas or something to get big explosions out of them.
Yeah.
So anything else in this episode?
I just didn't like the goofing around so much.
Okay. Now
Even though I'm a huge goof.
and now we move on to one of the most iconic, what is considered to be like one of the I shouldn't say iconic, but definitely one of the
More of an inspiration.
considered a classic Ultraman episode, the Lawless Monster Zone. That has I didn't get that
There you
at first.
go.
All right. Took me
I
a
thought
second.
that was really clever.
That was a Billy K. Peyton Royce reference. This episode, I think, has been like remade, or not remade, but like future Ultraman series have had like episodes that are essentially paying homage to this one.
Yeah.
But this just starts with Red King just fucking people up.
Yep.
Just-
Red King was fighting other monsters and just rips a wing off of one of the monsters.
Yep.
I thought he was pretty badass.
Yeah, Red King is going to be around quite a bit in the
Okay.
Ultraman franchise.
Like I said, this was my favorite of all the monsters that appeared. He looks like an extended neck Godzilla whose head's been squished. He's acid washed gene color, and then he was run over by a tractor trailer.
There's one Red King I saw that's like in a later series that pretty much keeps the same. Well, they all kind of keep the same design, but there's one that has like huge arms and huge forearms and looks really fucking ridiculous.
I just like how he has a huge neck. Clearly, it's so the suit actor could keep his head in there.
Yeah.
And then he's got this like tiny little head.
He's one of the biggest heels, I think, in the Ultraman franchise, from what I understand. I don't think he's like the deadliest foe. I think that's not one that we in any episode that we watched, but he's around a lot, or some version of Red King. I think he's even around a second time in this series, or a different Red King is. Yes, I think there's another Red King later in the series. I don't really remember, but and we also get Pigman.
So
Little Pigman.
this, I know you've talked about him a lot, and I never really I've seen like clips of him dying before. But like I never really got it until I watched this, and I'm like, okay, now I get why you like this so much.
Go on.
He's just like this weird little imp that's trimps like prancing through the woods, and just he can't. He's a very slippery little guy. Can't like keep tabs on him, and he dies.
Yeah. The best in this one is that like they like kind of they tag him with like a little balloon.
Yeah.
And then when Red King kills him just by throwing rocks at him, the balloon just inexplicably just flies away to symbolize him being dead.
Yeah.
So it's like he gets hit with a rock and then he just like lays there, already probably dead. They could have just not gone back to him at that point. Then it's like a couple seconds go by and they go back to him just to show his eyes shutting. And it's like it's fucking brutal.
So yeah. So he'll be back, I'm sure.
I don't think it's supposed to be the same pigment. I think it's always a different pigment. Because there's another one that appears in a later episode in this series who also dies in a very comical way. Like he tries to like do the same thing. He tries to like distract like the big kaiju that's like pursuing the good guys. And it like literally just takes its fist and just like smashes him into the ground and just dead. So, but
Good stuff.
from what I understand, and I have not seen enough of newer Ultraman to get this, but apparently what has become a recurring thing is that like Pigman will just constantly harass a Red King throughout the coming decades, so that they try to play off that whole like Red King's just gonna just keep killing Pigman. Pigman's gonna keep annoying Red King. So
All right.
it feels very like Danhausen and Hook, but a little bit more of violence.
Yes. Pigman curses Red King.
Yeah, some that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Some people love Pigman. I think he's like almost too ugly and goofy to enjoy.
Oh, I thought you liked Pigman.
I like him dying.
Okay.
I think that's funny to me.
Okay.
He's got those like little weird rubbery glove flapper arms. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
But I just love how slippery he is, and like you can't control him, and
Yeah.
like tie the balloon around him, and it just floats away.
Also, when Ultraman fights Red King in this, he kills him with a snapmare.
Thank you for bringing that up. I was going to talk about the Snapmare. Really good form by Ultraman.
Yeah.
He allowed Red King's weight to really do most of the work, where his form, he could just drop down and guide him over his shoulder without using too much force. Really great form in that Snapmare.
Yeah, it's good. And it showed how deadly the snapmare can be.
Snapmare is a finisher, brother.
Something that modern day wrestlers, they don't execute it well.
I'm making it my finisher in 2K22.
Just the brutal snapmare.
The Snapmare.
I mean, John Cena effectively made a career using a fireman's carry. So
It's a DVD.
yeah.
Perry Saturn did it before him.
Well, I would call Perry Saturn's actually a DVD. John Cena's got too much of a loose connection to me to put it in DVD territory for me.
All right.
But I've actually heard him in interviews too. He calls it the fireman's carry. He doesn't even call it the FU in interviews sometimes. Out of character interviews.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was like, he just killed Red King with the snapmare.
You sure did. And I kind of I laughed at that, and I talked about his form, and but it doesn't kill him. He'll be back.
Well, it's a different Red King.
Oh,
They enemies tend to stay dead, but like another of their species will arrive.
gotcha. Okay,
So
to avenge them.
yeah, or just I think in the other Red King that appears, I think it's just another Red King just being an asshole somewhere else.
All right.
And I think they repainted a little bit too.
Aw.
But yeah, whereas but the Baltons are a race, so it's like just another Balton comes, so that's kind of like how that kind of plays out. So
But this was my favorite episode of the three, to be honest with you.
yeah, because fucking just monster fights like galore, and
it's pretty funny.
yeah.
Not too much I remember about like the people in this. Oh, one thing I will say, Hayata has a tendency to lose that
The beta capsule.
the beta
Yeah, that's a good
capsule
point.
a lot.
Yeah, it's on in the second episode. It's like
Or he just
hanging.
knocks it off the building.
We can, like going back to the episode. Like it's funny too when he just like goes to the edge of the building. Like I feel like he probably could just like dropped down and grabbed it, but he's just like, no, I'm gonna kind of like suicide dive off this building, scream the whole way down and grab it, and then he like just releases it. That he is able to fire it off while he's going like head first into the ground. I thought that was kind of funny. And then this one, it's like, he gets like knocked out by like Red King's rocks, and it's like, and then it rolls in between like
His
two
arm.
other rocks.
Yeah.
And he's like reaching between the rocks trying to get it. I'm like, dude, like we can literally see the top of that rock. Just jump over it. Like that was that could have been done a little bit better. But yeah, I guess we haven't really even talked about the rest of the Science Patrol. I feel like in these 3 episodes, I feel like they don't really have any real character to them in these 3 episodes.
So first thing I noticed about them, they have these blue suits that they just sort of like jigger around in, and they become like orange jumpsuits, but they still have their ties and shirts like buttoned up and stuff.
Well,
on
they're
them.
all professional at all times.
I was gonna say they're strictly effing business.
Did you? I don't remember which episode it's in. I think it might be the second one. There's one where they're wearing like the regular suits, and then they just like it's like really really quick, and they just go, "Oh, we gotta go," and like it just cuts to a shot of like some of their legs where they're grabbing the pant legs, and basically like ripping the whole like casual suits off, like
Yeah.
they're having their science patrol suits on underneath.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of fucking funny.
I thought that was the first episode. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it is. It happened so quick, and I feel like I just never noticed it before. And did you also catch that whenever the phone rings, it's King Ghidorah's roar?
No.
Oh, yeah. So whenever a phone rings in Ultraman, it's King Ghidorah's roar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is stuff that you need to explain to me because I never pick up on it.
Well, how much are you paying attention to the phones ringing in these
Exactly.
shows? So,
I will say this, like, when I hear an alarm or a phone ringing for, like, too long, like, I'll be watching a movie late at night and trying to fall asleep, and, like, the jerk-offs in the movie or the TV show or whatever will let the phone ring continuously, and it's like, okay, I'm up. You've woken me up with this bullshit.
yeah.
So I usually do notice stuff like that. I just don't, if it's not, like, the actual phone ringing sound, I'm probably not going to pick up on what it is.
Yeah.
Second time around, I'll probably notice it.
Yeah.
But I'm also the person who didn't notice that Mothra was in Burning Godzilla's explosion in King of the Monsters.
Now, I would say in our defense in the theaters, that was like a little hard to catch when it just happens so quickly and you don't expect it.
Also, I was drunk.
Yeah, I was also very, very crunk for that. Because I came from the rehearsal dinner of one of our friends' weddings.
I went from work to the bar.
Yeah. No, I was putting him back at our dear old friend Corey's rehearsal dinner prior to that. And I remember I was like, well, I have to go now. I have to go see Godzilla King of the Monsters. See you at your wedding in a few days, bro. So, and we watched like a late showing too, didn't we? It wasn't like quite midnight, but I feel like it was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
Because I remember somebody else had seen it at 7 o'clock, which was like the earliest showing, but I was at the rehearsal dinner. And they had texted me saying like, "Oh, you're probably gonna really like this." Yeah, so I think we saw it like 10 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my recollection. But yeah, it was good and drunk for that. So I might have missed those Mothra wings too.
Okay.
Definitely didn't recall like there's the chirp too. Like Mothra's chirp is like
Yes.
kind of buried in the mix too, and I definitely don't remember that at the time.
Once I got
the
it
first
home-
time I saw it.
Once I got like the because I was gonna buy I was gonna go see it again, and then like 2 weeks later it was available for Blu-ray, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that was great. I like this fast turnaround time from theater to Blu-ray or streaming. I'm a big fan of that.
Remember we were kids growing up and it was like 6 months?
I know, it felt like eternity. It was like, I mean, during the pandemic, I loved fucking same day streaming and theater releases. Oh, I wish that's already kind of gone away again.
Mhm.
And it's like, I wish that was like, I mean, yeah, whatever. Would have been cool to see Godzilla vs. Kong in the theater, but I also fucking hate going to the movies.
I enjoy the experience typically. I don't like the price gouging and, if I'm sitting next to annoying people.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you just can't control the people you're in the theater with.
The move is like 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
No one's there.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. But yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes I like people just like want to talk to me during the movie that I don't know, or you got like
Ooh.
little kids making noise, and I'm just like, I got to sneak my booze in because I'm not buying an $8 Bud Light. I'm putting nips in a soda that I snuck in.
That's
It's
the
like-
old 20-year-old CK move right there.
Yeah, and and I'm in my late 30s doing that. It's just when GVK was on HBO Max the day that it was coming out in America, I was like, awesome. I'm gonna wake up at 3 a.m., watch this in the comfort of my own home. I can watch it 10 times today in the comfort of my own home if I want to.
Yep.
It was great. Didn't have to go anywhere. Didn't have to. Yeah. Whatever.
I think I watched it twice. I watched it early that morning, and then when I woke up the next day, I was like, I'm watching it again.
Yeah, and then we recorded a podcast at 5 o'clock that night. I woke up at 2 a.m. and I made myself a breakfast sandwich, and I made a Bloody Mary at 2:30 in the morning and said, "Here we go, off we go."
I was just good to go. I was like, I'm just going to stay up and watch it.
Oh yeah, no, I strategically planned that till I hope everyone's enjoying this little side tangent, but it's good podcasting. I like really plotted that out. I remember like I got out of work and I took the next day off from work, and I told everybody, and I was very proud to tell everybody at work. I said, you understand Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out, right? Like, so you understand this is like a national holiday for me. So and I mean, I use my vacation time, but I don't take a lot of random days off. So everyone's like, listen, like you've earned it, pal. So I got out of work, ate ate a little dinner, and I had a little beer, and it was like probably 4:30, 5 o'clock. I took a 10 milligram melatonin and said, "This is how this is how we get going here." And I was probably out like a light at like 7:30, probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think I was asleep that night, and set my alarm for like quarter or two. And again, woke up, breakfast sandwich, Bloody Mary, off we go. It's good times. Yeah. I'll never forget it.
So circling back to the Ultraman, shall we rank them? Do you want to rank individual episodes or just the experience?
Individual.
All
individual.
Right. So I think I went first last time, so I'll leave the honor to you.
Do you want to do all three at once?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the first episode for its historic relevance, but of these three, it's actually my least favorite. But I still think it's really good, so I'm giving the first one a 3-star, a high three. The second one with the alien Baltons is probably actually my favorite episode of the three. I think I just really like the Baltons. They cackle. They're assholes. Cool design. Cool looking aliens. So I am 4-starring Shoot the Invaders. Ultraman casually killing an entire alien race. Maybe that explains why they come back so pissed off later. But I'm also going to 4-star episode 8 because it's a classic episode. It's Red King. It starts with the Red King ripping off arms. It's just really just
a bloody affair.
Just giant monster goodness. All around. All three of these episodes are giant monster goodness all around. So
but that one in particular is blood and guts. So for me, I'm gonna give the first episode. I'm gonna give it a 4. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everything looked good. Liked the way it was filmed. Good setup for what we're in store for. Second episode, I'm gonna go 3. Strictly just because of how lighthearted and silly it kind of felt when there was, if it was just done a little differently, I think it could have got up to 4, but it just sort of missed the mark for me. The episode 8, it's really tough. I want to give it a 5. I just can't do it. It's a 4. It's a high 4.
Yeah, I feel like 5-starring a TV show episode is different than 5-starring a movie.
I know. Yeah. I leave my 5 stars to great movies like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
So many people are angry with me now.
Well, just a quick sidebar. Like when I had a fear for a moment that we were actually not a fear, but when I thought we were actually going to do Jurassic Park, I don't really get into the Twitter beefs or anything like that, but it's like I watch people on Twitter talk about talk about Jurassic Park and just dinosaurs in general, and I go, wow, every fandom is toxic or has their toxic element, but I was like, wow, people are fucking brutal in the Jurassic Park Twitter world and just the dinosaur paleo Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I just see people just again, every fandom has its toxic elements and toxic corners to it. That's just the product of that's just the byproduct of everyone having access to social media. Every asshole gets to voice their fucking opinions, and which is fine. But the Jurassic Park stuff is just I don't know. I don't have any dog in the fight. I like Jurassic Park. Whatever I've seen from Jurassic Park, I like. But when I just observe it secondhand, I just go, man, it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, you probably see it more than I do. I barely see that. I do occasionally see it from time to time, but for me, I just wanted to watch it because it's coming up on the 29-year anniversary of its release.
Yeah.
So I was like, I remember going to see. Fun story about that. When I went to see Jurassic Park, I missed the entire media blitz of what that movie was about. I had no idea. My parents were like, "We're taking you to see Jurassic Park." I'm like, "What is Jurassic Park?" And so I see the movie, and I'm just experiencing the whole thing for the first time. I'm like, "Oh, damn, they were right."
Yeah, I remember seeing it too, and just being my mind being blown by it. And I remember one of my friends I was hanging with at the time had the novelization where John Hammond dies in the novel. which was not obviously in the movie. And he was like, yeah, he's like, you got to read this. He's like, John Hammond dies in the novel, and he gets bit by a bunch of like these little asps, not the asps, the little tiny green dinosaurs.
I forget.
That were like ankle high.
Yeah.
It's like he gets like swarmed by like a bunch of them.
I thought it was Ian Malcolm who dies.
Oh, I thought it was him, and well, I don't know. Somebody dies.
Yeah.
A main character dies.
I thought it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ian Malcolm. You know, I don't really read too much of Kevin Grisham's brothers John's books anymore.
Wait, is that who did the Jurassic Park?
John Grisham.
Oh, well, that's the original Jurassic Park book, right?
Yeah.
I think this might have been the novelization of the movie.
Oh, okay.
That was like, because I think there was both, right? There was the original novel, then there was the novelization of the movie.
You're talking to the wrong guy.
I don't know. Yeah, I just remember that was.
You'll never make any money selling books.
Reading is dead.
Reading it. You find it out on the internet.
But yeah, anyway, your wrap up on episode 8. So you going with 4?
I'm going with a high 4. Really good stuff. Entertaining. I like the monster. One with a snapmare. What can I say?
Yeah.
Good stuff. It's like almost like winning with a body slam or a nerve hold.
Oh yeah, well, that just happened on AEW the other night.
Last night, yeah.
So, and I also don't think these are actually the best Ultraman episodes. I thought about pulling some from later in the series, but I said we might want to do another one of these episodes soon, where you do like another 3 episodes. So I kind of I didn't want to go too far ahead. So
well, I'm in. I think these got me to. I wouldn't say it got me into Ultraman, but it got me to the point where, like, whenever we have to do Ultraman, I'm in.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Yes.
Yeah. There was a good, there's a good 2-parter. There's not a lot of 2-parters in the first series. There was a good 2-parter that's a little bit later in the series. One of my personal favorites, which has Cibozo, who is my Ultraman boy. It's the dinosaur that looks like a skeleton. You've probably seen a lot of merch of at my house. Although it's a very different episode. He falls out in a nutshell. He randomly falls to Earth out of the monster, the space graveyard, the monster graveyard, and like at first they think he's like just I don't know, he's like another like alien monster attacking, but like they notice like he doesn't like destroy the city or anything like that. He's trying to climb up a building. And he keeps like reaching to the sky, and then like Ultraman goes like he's a kaiju that just lives in the graveyard, and he somehow like a rocket like an Earth rocket somehow knocked him out of the graveyard. And he just wants to get back to the graveyard.
Ah, Le Petit Prince.
And it's like it's very sad because he spends most of the episode like walking around like head down, kind of kicking dirt, like just being sad, and like Ultraman has to like think of a way to like get him back to the graveyard.
So it's a very special episode of Ultraman.
It is. It's yeah, but it's like it's sad, but it has a happy ending. Suppose it doesn't make a lot of appearances. Oh my god, know what we have to do is have I ever told you about Ultra Fight?
No.
Okay. So I think it was made sometime in the 70s, I think. And it's like basically there's no Ultra series going on. And they kind of had like what was left of all these like beat up suits and stuff like that. And like they needed like some content to like kind of air on TV, like in between other TV shows. And it's literally backyard wrestling with Ultra suits. And like it's like the first like 20 episodes of Ultra Fight are just the monster fights from Ultraman and Ultra 7, just like prepared like in a quick like little package. They just literally lift the footage from this series in Ultra 7.
Okay.
Then when they run out of that footage, that's like when they take like whatever they have left for suits, and it could just be they could be triple threats, they could be fatal 4-ways, they could be 1-on-1s. They literally just take like what's left of these suits. They go out to like basically like a grassy field, and they just go, y'all just backyard wrestle for like 3 minutes. There is no attempt to make them look giant whatsoever. It's just literally the people in these suits fighting in the field. And then there's one kaiju, his name's Ellie King. Like he randomly appears in one episode with like a toy machine gun and shoots the other 2 people. But they don't actually show any bullets flying because this is so low budget. They just like literally have like a machine gun sound effect where he literally just like is like shaking in the gun, and then like 2 of them just fall over and pretend to be dead. it's like, and Cibozo's in a bunch of those. So that's there's like one where it's like he knocks a dude in between like two rocks, and he just like climbs the top of the rock and like literally just drops an elbow on him. That's like the end of it. And I was like, it's so bad. It's like, but it's hysterical.
Does the guy go, the rock?
Good ref.
Yeah.
But we'll have to do those someday because they are so bad, but it's like comically bad.
Okay.
It's
I'm in.
yeah. Again, it's backyard wrestling with these monster suits with no attempt to make them actually like look good.
Excellent. I'm in.
All right.
Well, that was our foray into Ultraman for the first time. I've watched like 2 or 3 episodes before.
Yeah.
But these were cool. I like them. I like the opening thing with the tie-dye logo and everything.
Yeah, a little surf guitar going on in it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So we'll be back with more. Hoi hoi, you get any fix?
I did, and I got COVID.
Well, I got one of those things. Not both.
That is a true story. In between recording sessions, I got COVID.
You got COVID?
I did.
I'm still COVID free after all these years of it existing and never had it.
I only had symptoms for like a day, and even then they weren't bad because vaccines and boosters work. So my wife had it too, and she also didn't really have any bad symptoms. So yeah, so I got that. But on top of that, I actually have a very long list of things I got this week.
You do.
I'll save our shared one for the end, but I literally got 21 things. Let me double think. Yes, 21 things over the last 2 weeks.
So that's a big list. I got 2.
So I did get the Kong with the propeller.
Oh,
the
nice.
Playmates Kong.
Awesome.
I did. That was before I got COVID. I went and got that.
Maybe you got it from there.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
I'm the one who told you to get it.
Yeah, well.
So I kind of feel like that's on me now.
I actually suspect I got COVID from taking the train to work. This is actually what I think I did. But but I did get that. That was exciting, but we covered that the last episode. You got it. I got all 6 of the Reaction Super 7 figures.
You did.
I think they are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're cool. Little like I think Super 7 the Reaction line is really cool. Tad overpriced, but still cool.
So I'll say this. Yeah, it is. So all 6 cost me about $100.
Yes.
You get the Volcano Monster, Godzilla, which is a first ever figure of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
You get 54 Godzilla, the original Mecha Godzilla, Jet Jaguar, Mothra that comes with an egg, which is really cool, and Rodan. Excuse me, that Rodan who has little flappable wings, and they really fucking kill it. Like making these like retro style looking figures.
Yeah.
I was like kind of whatever about these figures when they first got announced. I said, okay, they're cool. And I was kind of like on the fence about buying them. And one night, drank a bunch of claws. And I realized it wasn't. My wife and I were not. My wife and I liked like a night or two during the week. We like to go out to bars and eat some food, drink some beers, and like that. Usually, that's like it's like $100 night out. Like when we like do that, like on a random Tuesday night. And I said, we're not doing that this week, so I'm just going to repurpose that money. That's how I justified it, just on a whim, buying these things. But then I got them, and I said, these figures are fucking awesome. Like, cool detail, cool look, cool retro style look. Very articulated for what they are. The Jet Jaguar one is like just pretty standard Jet Jaguar figure.
Yeah.
So I kind of say he's a little on the dull side in the set, but the Rodan is awesome, especially with his little flappable wings. The Mothra looks great, and you can pose her on top of the egg that comes too, so that looks really good. I would say the Volcano Monsters Godzilla and the Godzilla 54 do look very similar.
Yeah. I noticed that from the promo pics.
Yeah, they look very similar. They have different heads, and they obviously got different legs because the Volcano Monsters has 3 toes, which is suit accurate. I appreciate that. And the 54 one has 4 toes.
Yep.
But I really like them both. I was like, these like surprised me how much I liked them when I got them. where I kept thinking it was like, oh, like these Mezco things are going to be like my favorite figures of the year. I still like them a lot, despite the quality assurance issues that happened with the second wave.
Yeah.
But
Well,
these
wave 1, wave 2 was arrived first.
Oh, that's yes. Thank you for on that. Yes. So the QA issues with Series 1, which came second, bummed me out, but I still really love the figures. But these were just like I don't know. To me, I just did not expect I was going to like these as much as I was once I got them. And so yeah, I would say $18 a pop is a lot, but I would say maybe if you don't want to get them all, if you don't feel the need to get them all, like I would say the Volcano Monsters Godzilla, just because there hasn't been one. I really love how the Mechagodzilla one looks, and I would say Rodan. Like those three are like those are the ones to get.
Yeah,
I would say.
These are figures that if I see them at Target or Walmart, I'll think about it. Like if I see them there, I'll probably get like one or two of them. But for me, like the reaction line, like the only ones I ever really wanted were like the Power Ranger Zords. I got those, and I'm just kind of like, okay, these are really cool. They're way bigger than what the normal reaction figures are.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much in the same ballpark price wise. So I that's where I am at with them. With these, I'm just kind of like, they're kind of too small to justify the price. I don't know. So I'd still give the edge to the Mezco.
Yeah. These are stylistic figures, is what they are. But Super 7 is. We were talking offline. There's a little bit of some hijinks going on with Super 7 on the wrestling side of the world because neither of us are happy that like the second wave of the Brian Myers Matt Cardona figures are $75 a pop.
And think about this. There's a wave 1 of those figures that were released for $45.
45 bucks.
I really don't think there's any justification for adding $30 for the price tag other than you know how many the first wave sold, so now you're going to make that many and resell them to the same people who bought those, and those people will pay whatever you charge them.
Yeah, I agree.
So it kind of leaves people like me who are kind of like, whatever, I'm not going to get those. Kind of leaves us out in the woods where we're like, well, we're definitely not getting Series 2.
I wasn't going to get the first ones because Brian Myers like does not look like Brian Myers, and I was just like, and the major players are already like they have 2 other toy lines already of figures of theirs that I like better.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy their Super 7s.
Yeah, no point in investing that much money. Like there's a sale on Ringside where I think they're like $30 now for Wave 1.
Oh yeah, those, so that's tempting.
But
yeah,
overall, I'm in the same boat as you. It's just kind of like Super 7 has a tendency to like know that they're appealing to a collector audience.
Yeah,
and so they're like, we're going to charge you collector prices.
Like I'm not interested in the Godzilla and Biollante Ultimates that are coming out from Super 7.
I mean, aren't those like $80-$100?
Yeah, they were above 70, and I was like, I don't like the look. I mean, the Biollante one's cool, and like, there's not a lot of figures like that of the Rose form of Biollante, but like Godzilla 89, it's like we got a bunch of Godzilla 89s.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
have 2 of them on my NECA shelf, and
it's like, and I don't even like how the Godzilla 89 looks. It looks like a little blocky in the joints and stuff, and you don't need to collect everything, and it's like in that I look at that and go, I don't feel the need for that one.
Yeah. I just feel like Super 7 just tends to know that they can overcharge and get away with it. Like I'm one of the people who are just kind of like, calm down with the prices. Like NECA proved that you can make a quality figure for under $30.
Yeah.
They're over $30 now, but at the time you could get them for under.
I mean, it's like funny is like I feel like the NECA figures that are over $30 now, like whatever, they're like basically about $30 right now, like 35 depending on the retailer.
Yeah,
I remember going like getting the Godzilla ones and like going like I was like they're charging $20 for this shit, and it's like I would still, if these were 35, I would still be buying them for 35.
Yeah,
like it's I don't know how they got away with it, but they found a way to do it, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, so
we were spoiled by that line.
I've kept up with NECA after post Godzilla license. Like I have the line of killer monsters over there. And I get the Roddy Piper. I got the Super Shredder. Like, yeah, they're all in like the 30 plus range now, under 40, like 30, 35 now.
But even if they were 40, just straight up 40, like I think they're totally worth $40. Like
They're very detailed, very well put together. Like
very articulated.
yeah,
They
like
they all come with like accessories now.
tons of accessories. The Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which is the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie. That comes with like 2 dogs, flames, like tons of shit. Like the Jason Voorhees I got from Friday the 13th Part 3, the 3D one, which has like the 3D like Majora's Mask Collector's Edition cartridge thing where you can like move it around.
Yeah.
and it
Yes.
changes.
Yes.
That has like a dozen weapons in there, something like that. Couple of different heads, different hands. Like so much comes with it, and like there's really not much more to those figures as opposed to the Super 7 like what they're offering.
Yeah.
But there's just this huge price difference, and I just don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
how come one company can get away with doing it for so cheap, and another company needs to do it for so much? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how all that stuff works behind the scenes, but yeah, I think $18 is it doesn't bother me as much. I still feel like 18 is a little high.
It's high for the size of the figure you're getting and like what comes with it, which is basically nothing.
Yeah, I compare it to
Like
like
the Mothra sounds really cool for $18. Like, yeah, if you get like an egg and you can pose it on the egg, sure.
Yeah, I compare it to like the Star Wars like retro collection,
Oh yeah,
which is like the same thing.
Yeah,
But like those are like $11, and I go, okay, so that's like, that's a massive company that's like selling like
and there's
hundreds
a lot
of
more.
thousands of
Yeah,
these.
Yeah, there's
So
a
I
lot
go,
more.
okay, I can see why they charge 10. I kind of feel like the reaction should maybe be like meet in the middle. It should be like 15,
Yeah.
But
That would have been a nice compromise,
but at the same time too, when I got these, I was like, well, they fucking got me. Like when there's a reaction wave 2, I'm just going to buy it. So like,
it's like when they release a Triple H figure, they got me.
yeah. So
I don't know how that happened.
we're all it's like in Godfather 2. It's like we're all part of the same hypocrisy. So and we're just gonna support these overpriced things sometimes, but we draw a line somewhere.
I'm gonna go now. If I come back and I see money on the table, I know I have a partner. If I don't, then I know I don't.
My reference was the senator
I know.
for the gouging him for the
I was
casino
doing
license.
Hyman Roth.
Yes. Somebody shot my friend Momo Green in the eye. But it's a great movie. But so I got all those. I recommend them.
Yeah, I think they look really cool.
Yeah, I recommend getting like one of them or something like that. If you don't want to snag them all.
Get these things in stores, and I will consider picking them up.
Yeah.
If I see them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out of my way to get these. I already got like the J-tail one, and I'm like, this thing's really cool. I got it more for the packaging than anything else. I'm like, this is like the coolest figure packaging around since NECA doesn't do the boxes anymore.
Yeah.
Like, this is as cool as it's going to get. It looks awesome. It looks like it came from Japan. It didn't.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
It looks like it did.
I'll just say again, I think if you only get one, get the Volcano Monster Godzilla, because this is the only figure representing a lost suit from a movie that never got made. So that's really cool to me. So that's the one I'd recommend. So I got those. So you're probably aware there is another series of Godzilla bag clips.
I've been following your quest.
Yeah, well, I started to look in stores for them. Haven't been able to find them anywhere around here. It's one of my top eBay alerts, and I saw a seller had the whole set, all 11 of the new wave, and a lot of them were actually being sold for below retail.
Really?
And not like much. It was like like these things, like you find them in Target. It's usually like $6. Like $6-7, like a blind bag, and they were selling the non-chase figures for $5 instead of $7, and then the 2 chases. There's 2 chases every set. The 2 chases were $14, and I looked at it and was like, I'm not like whatever happens when I'm trying to buy these and put these together at Target, I always end up like 4 or 5 doubles by the end. And then the chases, there's only like one or two of each per box.
Yeah.
So like I have to buy the chases aftermarket anyway. And so I just said, you know what? They got the whole set. I'm just going to buy the whole set rather than like drive to Targets or Hot Topics, which I think is like where these are primarily being sold now. There's only one Hot Topic around us. And it's like in too far away.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just not going to put all that time and gas money into it. Like, it's going to snag the whole set.
Yeah.
So I got the whole set. I got another little display with it, put it with the other sets. So I am back down to still trying to find the one fucking chase figure that eludes me from the original set that came out when, I think it was before Godzilla King of the Monsters came out.
Okay.
It's like there's one chase that's still eluding me. And it never goes up on eBay. It hasn't gone up. The last time it was on eBay, somebody got it before I even saw it. And it went up, it was sold last October or November.
Jeez.
That's the last time one came up. And so, but I'll still be looking every day.
So, just to go off on a tangent on this real quick, I'm in the same boat for the old WCW 99 to 01 tag belt.
Okay.
I really like it for some, like, it looks like a Goomba. It's like shaped like a Mario Brothers Goomba. But you can get like the 97 version that the NWO had made because they thought the previous belts were trash and like the plates were like falling off and stuff. So they had new belts made. You can get those, like they're readily available and they're all bootlegs. Tons of those, but none of like the 99 to 01 version, which is the same exact thing, but they added an eagle to the belt. So it's a little bit bigger now. Like, can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't remember the last time I even saw one.
Do you have your eBay alert set?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, you got to get on top of that. Get the eBay alert set.
I don't need any more notifications.
Yeah, you don't. Well, you can also set it so you don't have to. But I want to show you. I want to show you one thing specifically with the Godzilla bag clips.
Sure.
That. So twice now there's been San Diego Comic-Con Godzilla bag clips exclusives, but all they are is like existing bag clips, just put in like an exclusive packaging.
Okay.
However,
still,
there was a recent convention exclusive, which again is 2 Godzilla bag clips that have already been out for years and just reissued. However, they are packaged with a red Power Ranger and a Dragon Zord, an exclusive Godzilla vs. Power Rangers packaging. I'll show that to you so you can see it. Now, I don't feel the need to collect these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives or convention exclusives unless they have a unique piece. However, that one is tempting me.
So it stinks that it's not the Green Ranger because they put Dragon Zord in there. If they did the Tyrannosaurus Zord or the Green Ranger, that would make more sense. I guess actually, no, I take that back. There was a point where the Red Ranger had the Green Ranger's coin and could summon Dragon Zord. I take it back. This makes sense and it's awesome.
I don't watch Power Rangers. I watch Ultraman. So I am tempted to perhaps put an offer into this. Like I said, I don't feel the need. I gotta get the convention exclusives, but that artwork, that packaging, I mean, that's not coming out the packaging. That's staying in the packaging if I get that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I might have to put a little.
Those are the first ones
where
I've seen where I'm like, oh damn, that's awesome.
It's the whole presentation. It's the whole presentation on that one. Okay, so I think. Okay, I have one other thing that you did not get, and then we have the shared thing that we both got.
Okay.
So I got So I got a lot of shit. The Bandai Movie Monster Series, Final Form Jet Jaguar from Singular Point. I got that. That I was thrilled to get that. I was worried that was going to be bundled with like another Blu-ray set,
Okay.
like the alternate Godzilla Ultima was, and I was like, oh god, am I gonna have to pay like another $120 to import like a giant Blu-ray set and a Bandai exclusive figure? But they just, which I would have done, but they just they just released it on its own, and great figure, great detail with it. At first, I was like just kind of wondering if it was going to just be like the first Jet Jaguar mold on just like bigger legs, but it's actually a different body altogether with
it looked different.
Yeah. So there's not a lot to say about it. It's just a really good detailed version of that figure of Jet Jaguar. But we both got another figure, and I have said a lot, so I'll let you handle this one.
Okay, so we both got the what's up, Canada audience? We both got Salunga, from the
Singular point gimmick.
yeah, I was gonna say from Singular Point, and I've said before, I think this is probably my favorite design kaiju of that series, and this figure is really good. It's only you can only move the arms and the legs and stuff, but you can do it so he's like got a running thing going on.
Yeah.
But like overall, this thing is like a wolf meets a baboon meets a rhino. It's a really cool design. Mouth is open. It's very detailed. You can see inside, like the side of the mouth, like where it like overlaps, like
The
it
gums.
sticks out.
Yeah.
It like that's very detailed. Like this is like a step above like figures we've been getting. I think like this is really good.
Yeah, this is definitely it's the Bandai Movie Monster series. Like the paint is always a little suspect, which is I don't think it is in this figure really. I don't know how the front of your teeth painted on your figure. Painted all the way around, or is there like a little pink from the gums in the front at all?
Not noticing anything in the front. Underneath,
Yeah, they're probably not going to be
underneath,
painted
whatever,
underneath.
like, whatever. Though you're never gonna see it unless you pay attention.
Yeah. So that's the only like real complaint about the Bandai Movie Monster series is like the paint is like a little suspect at times, but Salunga got a good paint job, but like the detail is always great. And this figure looks this is one of the better Bandai Movie Monster series figures I think of the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, definitely a solid figure. If you have the means to get it, then definitely get it.
Yeah, I mean, you can import it from like Hobby Link Japan. Like, I mean, the figure itself is like just around $20, and then, you know, I do more expensive shipping from Hobby Link Japan because I want my stuff in 3 days. But like, you can do slower shipping for a lot cheaper. But
all you need for that is just a little patience.
yeah, I don't have that. But I think like that, like the Godzilla 91 Bandai Movie Monster figure series is great. Like the Singular Point Anguirus was really great. There's been like they just had like a lot of like really good releases over the last like year or so. But yeah, this is in the upper tier right
and this
here.
completes your Singular Point Bandai Movie Monsters figures, right?
Yeah, I mean, I basically got them as they come out. So,
Yeah.
So hopefully there'll be more. I mean, I'm trying
hopefully we get a spoiler. Hopefully we get a Mechagodzilla Singular Point figure.
Yeah, that would be great. That's like if a season 2 gets announced, I imagine that would be like one of the first things to come.
Yeah.
The stuff that's like still outstanding from like the first season. Well, there was an SH Monster Ass Rodan, but there hasn't been a Bandai Movie Monster Series 1. There hasn't been like a weird or the hybrid of like the weird Kumonga, Megalon, and Kamacuras that was actually one of my favorite parts in the whole series when Jet Jaguar was like fighting all those down in the port.
Oh, yeah.
God, that was awesome. But we haven't gotten any of those. Has everyone else been represented at this point besides those and the Rodans? I think so. Yeah. So that's the only thing that's like still outstanding. But yeah, that Mechagodzilla needs to come at some point.
Yeah. Agreed. So I got one other figure from you, and that was
Oh yeah.
I got old Posey, as I like to call him. It is the Godzilla 2014 movie poster Playmates figure. And so again, with Playmates figures, not as good detail as Bandai, but pretty close enough to justify the price tag for them anyway. They have that smoothing thing going on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, this is probably one of their better offerings in terms of an actual Godzilla figure. The head is probably the best head of any of the Godzilla figures I've gotten from Playmates, just because like the other ones have sort of like a matted head or like the jaw's a little off.
Yeah,
it just kind of looks weird. Like there's a little funkiness with the teeth. I don't know if you can tell.
Is yours like mine with a jaw? Doesn't like yours is a little weird. He's got a little gap tooth.
Yeah, so he's got just like me. The paint is just a little the paint is just a little off there. I mean, I could probably take like a highlighter or something, or not a highlighter, but like, you know, a little white paint thing and just sort of fix it on my own. It's not that big of a deal. Like stuff I don't care about is like
sure,
like this. Like the paint is a little sloppy on the teeth. But overall, it looks pretty good. Like it's in that I don't know why they have to do like an action pose where his feet are like not evened off, and like his back leg has to be really far back, the front leg has to be like just not even with it.
Is this like a thing kids are into now?
I think it's just a Playmates thing.
Because it's like when we were growing up, I mean, I'm so used to like all of our figures being like in kind of static standing poses.
Yeah, like if you look around my room, like I had the LJN wrestling figures, those are all
Those aren't even articulated.
Can't even bend those things. I have like Elites and AEW figures, and like you can pose those however you want. Like the Power Rangers figures, you can pose those however you want, really. But like these are the only ones where you just kind of stuck in like a pose. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying like when we were kids, right? Like Ninja Turtles figures, like their knees bent, but like they're kind of just standing upright. G.I. Joes, for the most part, came in the default, like straight arms, straight legs.
The Ninja Turtles one, not quite. Their feet sometimes look like they could like be wearing high heels. I'll show you what I mean. I have them right over here. So check out Donnie's feet here.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And who made these figures?
Playmates. Oh, okay, so yeah, maybe this is just Playmates' history.
Yeah, and like the Shredder, I've shown you that figure where he's like basically seated.
Yeah, I mean, I had all these too growing up, and it was like, yeah, okay, so it's a Playmates thing. Just Playmates Legacy is everything's going to be like in a little bit of a weird, uncomfortable pose.
But also, good on Playmates, they're re-releasing these.
Yeah.
So like, I might pick these up because like,
don't they look very similar?
They're pretty much spot on. They have the same accessories and everything.
I mean, they probably just got like the original molds still like just sitting around somewhere.
And like think. Most people's figures look like how mine look, where they don't have the belts and the accessories like the weaponry or anything like that. I wonder if they're gonna release what Raph had as like daggers instead of size.
Is that a thing now?
Do you remember that? They so when Raph got released, his size were just pretty much like daggers instead of size because they thought it was like too dangerous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they released Raph with like weird dagger things instead of size.
Oh, I don't remember that.
So I wonder if they're going to redo that. Like I don't have them anymore, obviously. Like I have the Raph figure, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like so. But yeah, they're redoing like the van. They're redoing the blimp.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like
all these things I had that I just sold like a couple years ago.
Well, I think it's awesome because it gives people a chance to get them back like at an affordable price. Whereas like, you know, the originals are just, you know, you want the van, that'll be $200.
Yeah, helped paid for my wedding several years ago. That and all my old Transformers. But it's like these aren't things I'm like it's cool. Like Turtles are like popular again and stuff, but it's like I have not like rekindled like an interest in like the Ninja Turtles like or Transformers. Like I watch like the new like Netflix animated series for Transformers, but like that's about like the extent of like where my interest goes.
See, for me, it's like I'm not big into Turtles, but like, you know, I remember the old cartoon, loved that.
Yeah.
The video games, like I still play like the arcade game.
Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge just came out. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
So I just have like some of the figures. Like I've kept a few of them, but not all of them. Like I got rid of, like my parents got rid of them some when I went to college. So
yeah. I can only collect so many things.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm in the same boat. Like I'm out of room. I'm buying amps so I can keep stuff on top of them.
It's hard enough that it's like you know, I thought I got out of Star Wars collecting, but
well, now they get those Black Series figures, and those are like the best Star Wars figures.
I'm trying to get away from that though now. Like I still have like the new Boba Fett one like waiting to come in, but it's like they do take up a lot of space, and I do like the retro collection because like they're smaller, and I go okay, like I can like round like I do the same thing with Star Wars that I do with wrestling at this point. I don't need to get everything, which I don't get. I mean, you can't get everything for wrestling. It's insane. But it's like I just want the characters that I like. I just want like them represented in my collection in some shape, way, or form, and that's good enough for me. Whereas like Godzilla stuff, I'm a little bit more compelled to like just get a lot of extra stuff. Like I can't do that wrestling in Star Wars. Like yeah. I gotta like.
I tried that with wrestling. I was like, I'm just gonna get NWO figures, and then I'm like, oh, I have an Attitude Era. I have the DCW collection. I have pretty much like half of the AEW line. Like,
Yeah, but you get wrestling stuff like I get Godzilla stuff. And you get Godzilla stuff like I get wrestling stuff.
yeah, I'd say I probably cut in half what I get for wrestling is what you get for Godzilla. Because when I buy those figures, I usually just got like one or two. Like it's very rare that I'll go all out.
I'm more into the Godzilla stuff. You pick and choose what you want, whereas I'm a little bit more kind of blanket buying ridiculous shit. So,
Like I only get like figures of people I like and for wrestling, but like it's just gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I can't wait for that ring to come. So like half of this collection can just go in that ring and just like give me a ton of open space.
yeah.
But yeah, that'll do it for Fig Talk, I guess. Yeah. Okay figure for the 2014, like the spikes, the 2014 spikes. He's orangey. I think looks probably the best Godzilla figure from Playmates.
Yeah, I agree. I like it a lot. It's actually one of my favorite from Playmates.
So what do we got next?
I don't know.
We haven't planned this ahead at all.
Nope. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be another poll.
Maybe another poll. Maybe we call an audible and we tell you what we're gonna do.
Do you have something you want to do?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, it could be anything. Could be a poll. Could be us saying we're doing this, just like the early days.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah,
just like our demo days.
Yeah. I'm also going to put it on the podcast now that the OIWF has not been forgotten.
We're just in a quiet period.
Yeah, but in my mind, what I think of doing is in a few weeks, when I feel a little bit more recharged for the OIWF, there'll be a big thread recapping all the storylines, and then we will start anew. It's just sometimes you just...
Yeah, we're just looking for an angel investor.
Yeah. We will beat the Intellivision and Miko to market. So we are not abandoning the OIWF trademark. So.
We can't abandon it because we've already abandoned it.
Can't abandon me, I'm already abandoned. Can't fire me, I'm already fired.
I was about to say that. Fire me. You're a no good son of a... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. So yeah, stay tuned. Next episode, mystery topic.
Mystery, indeed.
Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Nope.
Men shouldn't decide women's reproductive rights.